guys, welcome back to my channel and to today's video in which I have decided to share my ample wisdom. Well, it's not ample wisdom, it's just my tips on travel style. So I'm going to share with you guys my tips on how I get dressed for going to the airport, long haul flights, short haul flights, all of that jazz. So first things first, I'm going to start with the base of any outfit, but a base that I think is important in particular for travel outfits, and that is the undergarms, the unmentionables, your knickers, bras, socks. They're not really unmentionables, but you know what I mean. All of the sort of underwear things. Now, comfort is the main factor when we're talking about travel outfits. I would hope that we would all consider comfort to be top of the list. Style we can work on a little bit further down the line, but comfort is number one. So if we're talking about bras, and bear in mind guys that I am very flat-chested, I have not even an A cup, so this would be the kind of thing that I would potentially wear when travelling. If you have a larger chest, by all means, go with your own flow. You know what's best for your chest. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But for me, I would wear something super comfortable, something very elasticated if I was going to wear a bra at all. And it would be something like this, a little sports kind of crop top scenario. However, if we're going to talk about pants, and as you can see, I don't have any of my pants here on the rail because no one wants to see those, trust me. But they would be made out of 100% cotton. They would definitely have a cotton gusset. Is that the word? A cotton gusset? The bit that, you know, the main bit? That was an awful hand movement, wasn't it? I'm so sorry if you're watching this on a Sunday eating your breakfast. But yes, I would go for cotton. I would veer far, far away from any kind of lace, synthetic fabric. We're definitely not going for a crotchless thong. Thongs in general for me are a no-go. If you find lacy thongs comfortable, you must have a butt made out of steel, but that's fine. You do you. For me, it's going to be massive cotton granny pants. And on a side note with the granny pants, I also carry a spare pair in my carry-on, or like my handbag, my hand luggage. I normally have a little pair in one of the zippy pockets so it's concealed and they're hidden away from the security people, just so that if I'm on a long haul flight I can get changed and I just, you know, feel a bit more fresh. So that's another top tip. Take a spare pair of pants, because sometimes you never know what's going to happen, and airline food can be unpredictable. Right, now we've got the undergarms out the way, I'm going to move on to the actual clothing element of an airport look or a travel look. So as I said earlier, comfort is the main factor. So if I'm going to start with bottoms, sweatpants. They seem like the obvious choice, right? I know some people are a bit like, sweatpants are not for anywhere other than the gym or inside the house. I disagree, because sweatpants are beyond comfortable. They're the most comfortable things ever, so they are perfect for travelling in. If I am going on a long haul flight, and I would deem long haul as anything over 5 hours, it's got to be a pair of sweatpants. You will not find me in anything else other than a pair of sweatpants. Now, regardless of which class you're flying in, if you're one of them lucky buggers that's up in business class and you've got a bed, you're going to be able to sleep in your sweatpants. I know some people bring along a change of clothes, and if you're in first class you get PJs, so that's very swanky. But even if you're back in even premium economy or in economy, sweatpants are going to be the most comfortable thing to sit in and to sort of move around and sort of shimmy around in while you're trying to get to sleep. The only thing I would say is be careful with the cuffs. These ones are from American Vintage. These have a really nice sort of cuff which isn't ruched like this, like the waistband. So these have a really nice comfortable cuff. Just be careful with some of the ones which have a cuff like this, because they can be really tight and they can start to cut off your blood circulation, which, as we all know, on an airplane is not ideal. Another tip of mine when it comes to your sweatpants is to have a pair which you keep as your designated travel sweatpants. We've got 5 dogs. I am often absolutely covered in hair. So if you've got pets or maybe if you've got kids and they get a little bit dirty or they get a bit messy, or even if you've just worn them to death and they've got bubbles all over them, they can look a little bit tatty, like frayed around the edges. They can look not so smart and not so fresh. So I think it's always a good idea to have your designated pair, or a couple of pairs if you want to be fancy, of specific travel jogging bottoms that you keep aside just for those times when you're traveling. That way they're a little bit newer, they feel more fresh, and I just think that when you feel fresh, you look fresh. If you're really not a sweatpant kind of person and you want to show off your figure a bit more maybe, or you just want something that's a bit lighter perhaps, leggings are another good shout. Now, I would stay away from gym leggings, anything that's made out of lycra or all of that kind of synthetic fabric. For me, gym leggings are actually not comfortable. They're great when you're sort of sweating and you're working out, but to spend like a 9, 10, 11, 12-hour flight in, no thank you. All of my gym leggings are designed to hold in things, whereas when I'm sat on a flight, I just want to let it all hang out. So I have these, which are from H&M, I think. They're about £10 maybe, 100% cotton, nice and lightweight. The only thing to be wary of with leggings is obviously when we were discussing pants, if like me you're a big cotton granny pants wearer, you're going to get a VPL section. So when it comes to what you're wearing on the top, just make sure you're wearing a slightly longer top that's going to cover those knicker lines. Now, one more option for bottoms would be something like this, which is a like slightly stretchy twill pair of trousers. I've gone for these khaki ones. These are from American Vintage. They're really comfortable. The fabric's really soft. These I would tend to reserve for short haul travelling. I would not be travelling on a long haul flight in something like these. I am 100% a leggings or a sweatpants kind of girl when it comes to those super long flights. But these are really comfortable. If you've got a flight that's under 5 hours, or if you're on a train or whatever, these are a really good and slightly chicer and smarter option. Now, there are some fabrics for bottoms that I would steer well clear of. Number one is linen, and I know that I am a big ambassador for linen as a fabric in general, but when it comes to travelling, it will crease and you'll just end up looking quite dishevelled when you get off the plane at the other side, because I'm sure you probably would have ironed or steamed them before you got on, and they just don't wear well. I also find that linen has no stretch, so if you're curling up and you're moving around trying to get to sleep, I know it's a lightweight, airy fabric, but most of the time on planes it's quite chilly, so they're not going to keep you warm. And yeah, they're just going to look a bit dishevelled. Another fabric to steer clear of is cheap polyester. Any of those sort of stretchy trousers, it's not a breathable fabric, so they're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to be fresh when you get off the plane at the other side. And speaking of fresh, please don't be one of those people that boards the plane in either leather or worse, pleather trousers. I'm just telling you now, your vagina will not thank you for that, so stay clear of those kind of trousers. And lastly, denim. And it pains me to say this because you guys know I am a massive lover of denim, but wearing jeans on a flight is an absolute no-go. For a short haul flight, I would probably entertain the idea if it were an hour or maximum of 2. For long haul, it's an absolute no. If you love your denim and you just want to feel like you've got dressed, you could always wear denim to the airport. Just make sure that you've got a pair of comfies to change into. Moving on to tops. So my number one recommendation would be a cotton basic. Make sure it's 100% cotton. Make sure it's a little bit oversized. So for those of you who have been buying off my recommendation, these Shacket basics, they will do you just nicely. I think the key for travelling is layers, because you don't want to wear too little clothing so that you can't actually strip off. You don't want to wear too much so that you're overheating. So I would normally wear a cotton basic, whether it be something with short sleeves, something with long sleeves, and I would keep it very loose fitting. I would then more than likely have a cashmere sweater along with that, so I can layer it over the top. It's comfortable to sleep in, and it's cashmere, so it's very chic. Doesn't have to be cashmere if the budget won't allow. You could do a sweatshirt, like I have here, or you could do a hoodie. excellent. And then outerwear. Now this is the game changer, I feel, when it comes to an airport outfit. You could have a pair of joggers on and a t-shirt and you could look, granted, like a little bit of a scruff bag. However, you add a blazer into that mix, even with a pair of leggings, and it immediately completely changes the outfit. This is the power of blazers, folks. This is why I am such a blazer girl, because they hold all the power. So I've got a few blazers here which tend to be my favourites when I'm travelling. This one from Everlane, because it doesn't crease. Another blazer which is good for travelling, which I know loads of you have bought because I featured it so much, is this one from Mango. This again is a similar fabric, it's a wool fabric, so it's not prone to creasing. I would stay well away from any kind of linen or cotton mix or cotton heavy blazers, because they're going to crease. Even if you hang them by that little seat hook in front of you, they're going to crease in all the wrong places. So when you get off the plane at the other end, you're not going to look as polished as when you got on. If perhaps you feel a little bit too formal in a blazer, then I would suggest a Shacket. This one I've actually had for about 3 years now. It was from Next, but a khaki Shacket is always a good wardrobe staple to have. You can wear this with your sweatpants. It's a little bit more of a casual feel, I find, and you can layer that over your cashmere jumper or over your basic t-shirt, and it still creates a look which is casual, but it does look like you've actually got dressed and made a little bit of an effort. And one final option for outerwear would be the biker jacket. Admittedly, this wouldn't be my first choice in terms of outerwear. I would very much be a blazer or Shacket kind of girl, but it can add a little bit of edge to your airport look. Now, when it comes to footwear, I have one option, and it's trainers. I will not advise you to wear anything other than trainers when you travel, and I'll tell you why. I'm an anxiety sufferer. Hands up if you're an anxiety sufferer. If you are, you will probably do a similar thing to me, and you will overthink every possible situation that could go wrong, and that includes when it comes to what you're wearing. So for me, I'm like, trainers. Okay, what happens if the flight is cancelled and we're stuck in the airport for hours? I'm okay because I've got trainers on. If I've got trainers on, I've got socks on, my feet are warm. If I had flip-flops on, however, I wouldn't have socks on, and if it got cold, my feet would get cold. So there we go, I'm back to trainers. What happens if the gate changes at the airport and I've got to walk 5 miles, if you're at Heathrow, to the next gate, or if I've got to catch a bus? What happens if I get a flip-flop stuck in an escalator? All of these things. And you know what? The simple solution is trainers. Honestly, they will just save your feet from any kind of pain. And if, like me, you're an anxiety sufferer, your mind can rest at ease that you are equipped for any situation. Another pro about trainers is that they just look cool. Honestly, they really do. There's so many different trainer options, whether you're a Veja girl, a Nike girl, a New Balance girl, Converse, whatever floats your boat, trainers just look cool. Even with a pair of sweatpants, whatever you're gonna wear, they're cool. Cool and comfortable equals yes. Right, now on to accessories. When it comes to how I style my airport looks, I keep my accessories to a minimum. So in terms of jewellery, I will wear no rings other than my marital bling, because I don't even think they come off now, to be honest. They're on there for life. Necklace wise, I might wear one necklace. I mean, I'm not going to the airport today, as you can tell. I might wear one necklace, but to be honest with you, you're only going to end up setting up the alarm if you rock up to the airport looking like Mr. T. Now, when it comes to earrings, I opt for comfort. So I will stay well clear of studs, because it doesn't matter where you're sleeping, whether you're up in first class or in business class and you've got a nice bed with a cushion, or whether you're in economy with one of those big chunky like neck braces on, you're constantly moving around trying to find some sort of way that's comfortable for you to lie. So if you've got your face pressed up against a window and you've got earring studs digging into the back of your head, not comfortable at all. So I tend to go for Huggies, or back in the day I think they were called sleepers. It's basically just little rings. I sleep in these every single night. I just find them super comfortable, and it also just keeps something in my ears so that my holes stay open. That is a weird phrase to use, but I think you get what I mean when it comes to ear piercings. Belts are an absolute no-no for me. I just don't even entertain the idea of wearing a belt, even if it's just for a short haul travel period, because when you're even going short haul, you've still got to go through security and it just seems like a faff to have to take it off and put it in the bin. So a no to belts. Hats. I would say don't wear, if you're taking a straw hat, like a straw fedora or a straw sun hat, don't take that on the plane. I learnt this the hard way. I took a really expensive straw hat on the plane because I thought it was better than putting it in my suitcase and losing its shape. I was wrong. I damaged it on the plane and it was heartbreaking and horrible. Now, I did actually make a video after this experience. I learnt how to pack a hat properly. So I'll leave a little I button above, I can never remember which side it is, that will show you guys how to pack a straw hat or any kind of hat properly within your suitcase. Right guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found it useful in some way. If you are heading off on your travels, I wish you safe travels and I hope you have a jolly old time, to be quite honest. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye!